often leaders, business leaders in influence and ministry and business, they often walk away feeling so much better and in many, many different ways. Often even their life has changed. So, uh, for instance, I have one client of mine who has told me that because of my coaching, not only is he being successful in business the way that he wants to, he's also seeing a lot more success in his own life because of these mindset shifts and strategies that we were able to pinpoint and really initiate into his business, and then therefore also into his life so that then he can really do what it is that he needs to do. Um, there was, before we started, just a little quick backstory. Before we started, he was a go-getter, football player, really like, good grades, everything like that. And, and I actually knew him a bit in college, but when he got into business, a few years went by and there was some dreams and goals that he had that he wasn't taking action on and he wasn't initiating. And he was like, he told me, he said, I don't know why. I don't know why it is that I'm having such a hard time with this. Normally, I'm like, I'm a take action person. It's like boom, boom, boom. But for some reason, I think something's getting in the way. And I'm like, well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help. And so we were really able to get some really good strategies initiated into his business so that he can really see the success that he wants. Um, and, and hire the right people and do the right things, right? Like, and just even just seeing like these new strategies in a different light is really helping him a lot. And I'm just really excited to be working with him. I enjoy working with him. Um, and yeah, so some things that, like as you hear this, you might think, well, that's great, but I'm not in business. Like I'm in ministry, right? Or I'm in influence. Like, you're or you might be in business and you're like, I'm not a leader, I'm just a business owner. And the thing is that with all of those, you are leading a team and people come to you for advice. People come to you for resources. People are asking you, what do I do next? Those are all components that qualify you as a leader. And if you're another one is like, if you're thinking like, oh, well, maybe my leadership is more, computerized, right? Like you're working with AI. Um, your commands into AI in order to get the output that you want is a kind of leadership. And it has, because it has results that are going to, affect other people, affect your clients, affect those people who are following you, or affect your flock. These are all things that are a part of leadership. Even if you're not directly talking to your clients or your followers or your flock, like those are nonetheless people who look up to you and see you as a leader. Um, I need to tell a little story here too, because when I was in college, I was always the person I considered myself to be a service. I was always serving others. I was always doing my best to like make sure the team is together and we're on schedule and we're, building those skills and utilizing each person's skills. And I didn't know that I was considered a leader until after I graduated. Um, and because I was asking for recommendations from my collegiate family or my other fellow students of like, hey, I'm just kind of curious, like what do you can you write me a recommendation and I can write you a recommendation. And lo and behold, like surprisingly enough, I was surprised that people were saying like you have really good leadership, like you take action really well, and you're taking a lot of work off of, off of us by organizing the group, by managing the group, by making sure that we're on task. And I was just like, I was blown away because I'm like, wow, I didn't think that I was a leader, right? Because I was trying to serve from a humble place, right? I was just serving the team. Like, I considered it serving the team. You take initiatives, you take action. And you might be even like listening to this right now and thinking like, oh man, like the people come to me for questions that, this is you saying this, like, wow, people come to me for questions. People are coming to me when they need something. People are looking to my stuff. Like, when you have 5,000 plus followers on Instagram or YouTube, like, you're doing something that is causing them to follow you, and that is a part of leadership. Now, whatever it is that you're doing, entertainment is a weird another it is a weird form of leadership, but it's a form of leadership nonetheless, because what kind of impressions are you giving people? How are people seeing you, and like then thinking, how do we respond in kind, or how do we then live our own lives? These are all part of leadership, because when we're being an example to others, and when we're serving others either with entertainment, or we're serving others with good information, or we're serving others with God's word, these are all forms of leadership. And a lot of people they don't see it, or they don't realize it. And it's just really important to be able to like to note, like, hey, if you are this is the characteristics of a leader, and if you are a part of that, welcome to leadership. And also, my name is Sharlot Eisentraut. I'm a transformational business mindset coach, but I also say that I'm a leadership coach, and I've really enjoyed working with people who are in business, and I've since expanded to influencers and ministers, because through my work, they were attracted to me, and I'm just like, hey, you know what? If the shoe fits, let's work together. And if I love working with other leaders, because again, they're coming from this place of service, and humble service, and serving others greatly. Like, those are the people who I love, 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 love working with. And I hope that you might find me to be a good fit. While you're like listening to this, while you're watching this, that, maybe we might be a good fit. Maybe you like my energy. And so down below, there's some buttons that you can press, and it'll say what the options are there. I would love to work with you. If you when watching me, if you feel like my energy is a good fit for you, I highly recommend clicking on one of those buttons whenever you're ready. You don't have to watch the whole video if you don't want to. So another thing about, so the benefits of leadership, like, well, what about me? Like, or I don't think that I could, if you're thinking, man, I don't know if I can like see that in my own leadership. Well, if you're somebody who can take action, and when we talk, like, we're able to say, look, okay, this is where it is that you are. This is where you want to go. Now we're going to bridge that gap between it. And you're like, oh my God, it makes so much more sense now. And if you're that kind of person who, like, now I can be motivating. I can be inspiring, whatever. But it's also important that when you get off the phone, if you've ever had a coach or a consultant, that when you get off the phone and you're still motivated, 2, 3 weeks later to keep going, regardless of whether or not we've had a conversation, that's excellent. You're gonna be a great fit. I mean, I really like doing weekly sessions, just because it just makes it's consistency, right? But the other thing is that when I'm like, and I'll give you homework, so long as it's something that aligns with you and what you want to do. See, here's the thing, is that often the coaching that I provide is often personalized. I could go into group coaching very easily. There's a lot of concepts that I have that a lot of people have said, oh, this is a great benefit. But if you're somebody who's like gonna take action, and you're inspired to take action, not because it was rah, but because we put a purpose to it. Like that is the biggest thing. Um so when you if ever you were at, if ever you've watched a video and or listened to a podcast and you think, that's nice, but you don't feel like you have any reason to keep moving, to keep forward. That's because purpose is lacking. That's your why. We need a like when we build a really strong why, and really like getting to the root of the why it is that you do this, why it is that you're here right now, why it is that you're listening. Like you you're listening right now because there is a big why in your life, in your business, and you wanting to serve your community greatly, whether you're a business owner, influencer, or minister. Like these are big parts of leadership. When you are able to like listen to me, and even right now you're thinking, oh yeah, I know that vision that I have in my head, like that, you'll gain huge benefit by working with me when you have that why. And if you already have it, that's great, because we're going to be in really good alignment. And here's the other thing is that if you're one of those who are like, even right now as you're watching, like, I don't know what my why is, I'm not entirely certain, I'm not entirely like, I can't really like get it into, a little box, if you will, and be able to say this is it, then I can help you with that, because I have the resources, I have the products, I've created things, I've created um I like to use the word worksheets, but I've created these resources that can really help you target and really get down deep into your why, into your purpose, so that then you can like there's and when you get down into your purpose, there is so many things that is influenced and motivated because you're going into your purpose and your business, like um things tend to fall into place really beautifully when you know your purpose and you know your why. And even if you don't right now, I can absolutely help you with that. And even for those, like, say actors count as influencers, and say if you're a recently retired actor or actress, and you're like, oh my gosh, Charlotte, I need to do something different, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I need somebody to like take me to that next level of success the way that I define it. um I'm your girl. So I can, and again, I have the resources to help you with that, so that then you can like really get into the niche of your why, and you can really like get yourself like motivated. When we have, um, if you're here right now and you're thinking like, oh, life feels empty or non-responsive, or I'm just really having a hard time with life, and I really want to get my business off the ground, and I'm overwhelmed and I'm stressed out and I'm frustrated, and I can't seem to like get these people to do what I want, or get this AI to like the commands that I'm really thinking of, um then yeah, you're in the right place, because that's what I specialize in. Like, when you don't know where you are and where you're going, like, I can still help you get there, And so long as you're an action taker, so long as you're somebody who loves to take action, I mean, it's like, and sometimes our why is like, we know that it's there, but we can't really like define it really well. And so that's where my resources, my products, my coaching really comes into play and can help you get there. Um, by the way, this is like, I'm just like following a format right now. This is all completely like off the mark, like, because this is just by what I know and what I can help you with. And these are all, so the benefits are great and fast. And it's not, it's, if you haven't gotten to where it is that you need to go, it's not your fault. It's not your fault because sometimes we need that extra person there to help us go from A to B, right? To help us get across that bridge, to fight that troll, to fight that mindset, to establish more solid identity, more solid purpose. And that's a big part of transformational business mindset coaching, and especially leadership coaching and business consulting. I've done business consulting for years, but what I found is that often when people have those limiting concepts, or like lack of reason, or uncertain of like who they are, then it causes their business to also be a little bit unstable. And to really get you to where you need to be, having those foundational things in line is so, so key. And it's something that we can work on like as we go. Not everything has to be um like, I like to follow a step-by-step process, but it's going to be personalized. It's going to be personalized for everybody. Um so right now, even, you're online, here I am, like I'm on a website, right? Like we don't really know each other just quite yet. And so, maybe in the back of your head, like, I don't really know this person, right? I can see her energy and it's a video, like, but what's up with that? How do I really get to know who Charlotte is and whether or not she can help me? Well, there's buttons down below that can either help you go to the next step of like really understanding more about, the what's the next step? Alignment. So after benefits is alignment, so that you can know like, okay, so what does it really mean to be in alignment with Charlotte? I mean, I'm just giving you little clues right now, but to really know whether or not you're going to be in alignment with my coaching, you're going to like go to the next page, right? Or you can schedule a clarity session with me. That would be one to one. That's just the two of us. And we're going to go into where you are, where you want to go, and what's holding you back. And really, it's incredibly helpful. Even people who have just sat with me doing the clarity session have had such big breakthroughs about where they are and where they want to go, so that even if we didn't sign up, they still gain such a big benefit. And so I would recommend, if you liked my energy, if you feel like some of the things that I've said kind of like align with you and who you are, then go ahead and press down below and just, follow the prompts. And I'd love to have a clarity session with you. And we can really like get to the bottom of, where you're at, where you need to go, and how I can help you get there. So go ahead and click down below, choose an option. I'll see you on the next page, or, schedule a clarity session. I'd love to see you there. All right. Toodles. Till next time.